Good morning to all. This is Kavita. I'm going to handle computer science to you. Welcome you all. I don't know why you have chosen computer science, but whatever reason behind it, it may be, you have chosen a perfect subject. Now, I'm very happy to share these things with you. You want to understand one important thing in this. Without technology, we cannot do anything in this world. That everyone will accept. Similarly, everyone knows. See, now we are facing a big issue, that is big problem in this world, that is COVID-19, coronavirus. Because of that, this entire world is under lockdown. That everyone knows. See, think about the situation. If we don't have any technology with us, if we don't have computer with us, is it possible to share any information, or is it possible to survey our life? Now we are managing everything by doing working from home and all those things we are doing, and we are managing our life without any issue or problem. Even we are transferring money, we are doing all those process only because of our technology. So the backbone of the basic thing of technologies are computer science. You just think of biology students, maybe instead of selecting mathematics is a tough subject. So if we are going for computer science, it will be easy to learn. That's the reason you would have selected. Similarly, mathematics students, instead of selecting biology, you would have chosen computer science. Similarly, in case of arts group, instead of selecting we don't have any other option, so we have chosen. It's not like that. Why you have chosen computer science, whatever reason it may be, but I'm saying have opted up opted a perfect accurate subject. That is only my what is that suggestion about this. Okay, as you know very well, because of COVID-19, our CBSE also has reduced our syllabus. According to our 11th portion, that is 11th syllabus, CBSE has reduced from 4 units to 3 units. Now I'll show a PDF which is displaying now. In that PDF, now I'll be explaining what are the units we'll be covering in this 11th standard, as well as how we'll be writing examination, and then what are the categories of marks. All those things will be I'll be explaining. After that, we'll go to the chapters. Actually, our paper, it is for 100 marks. 70 marks is for theory and 30 marks is for practicals. The 30 marks completely it is practicals. You have to learn programming and you want to do your own program. Depending upon your programming skill only, you'll be scoring mark in practicals. In theory, as like how you would have written other 10th subjects, you'll be writing theory exam out of 70 marks, and then this total only will be considered as total subject mark, that is 100 marks. So 30 it is for practicals, 70 it is for theory. So together 100 marks. Actually, according to this 11th standard, you'll be writing two examination, terminal 1 and terminal 2. In terminal 1, according to our subject, you'll be doing practicals for 30 marks and you'll be writing theory for 70 marks. It is terminal 1, that is half portion. And then terminal 2, it is full portion. It'll be, you must submit a project as well as a record, and then you'll be doing practicals. It is for 30 marks. And then actually that mark category I'll be discussing with you later. Now I'll show the PDF how that marks will be categorized, you will be understanding very easily. But anyway, 30 marks for practicals. It will be covering the terminal 2 exam, practical exam. You must submit a record and you have to complete your own project. You should use your own programming skill and you want to implement a project, and that report documentation should be submitted. And then along with that you will have practical examination. This consolidated mark only 30 marks. Apart from that, you'll be writing theory exam, it is for 70 marks. Together only will be considered as 100 marks. This is the examination pattern of 11th standard. It's not like 10th standard or 9th standard you'll be writing only one exam, that is final annual exam, board exam. It's not like that. In case of 11th standard, you'll be writing two examination. One is terminal 1, another one is terminal 2. Just understand. And then if you are coming for our syllabus, as I said already, there are 3 units. Initially it was 4 units. Now because of this COVID-19, CBSE has reduced and will have only 3 units. First unit, computer system and organization. Second unit, computational thinking and programming. Third unit, society, law and ethics. It is for totally 70 marks. Practicals, it is for 30 marks. Yeah. First unit, this computer system and organization, will be learning basics of computer, fundamental, what is computer, what are the fundamental things which is present in computer, what is software, what is hardware, what are the operating systems, how operating systems are functioning, how are inbuilt processing memory, all those things are happening inside, how data are stored and how data are retrieved from the memory. All those things you'll be learning in this first unit. And then second unit, it is completely a programming thing. That is, you'll be learning a new programming language, that is Python. If I'm saying programming language, you will be arising question, what is that programming language? Am I right? Actually, it is also like a normal communication language. If I need to communicate with you, I'll be using a language, that is, now at present I'm using English, and then I'm communicating with you. Similarly, if I need to communicate with our computer, or if I need to give some instruction to the computer, I must follow a language. It's mandatory. Similarly, if I need to communicate with you people, I must use a language. Now at present I'm using English. Similarly, if I need to communicate with the computer, communication in the sense, if I need to give some instruction to the computer, I must use a language, that is called programming language. Program means set of instruction. Program means set of instruction. That set of instruction can be given by using a language called programming language. That programming language only Python. You'll be learning that Python programming language, how to create a simple Python program, and what are the statements to be used for implementing Python program, rules, regulations, and how to design a program. All those things you'll be learning in this computational thinking and programming. And then last unit is society, law and ethics. In this you'll be learning the general thing, like in case of our computer communication, what are the issues we are facing. We'll be facing lot of problems like hacking, cracking, and then what are the social networking we are using, how safely we need to access our devices without without getting any affect without any problem with virus or malware or something. How to protect, how to implement cyber safety, and then what are the technologies we are using. All those things you'll be learning under society, law and ethics. So these are the 3 units will be covered in your 11th portion. I hope you will be understanding all those things what I have explained now. Now we'll go to the chapter that is unit 1, computer system and organization. In first chapter, this fundamentals of computer, that is only first chapter. Chapter 1, computer fundamentals. Before going inside this chapter 1 computer fundamentals, let me ask a question. What is computer? Yeah, everyone knows, you'll be learning from the childhood computer is a device, right? Of course, computer is an electronic device, right, which will be reading information from the user, that is, which will be accepting input from the user, and it will be processing the input and it will be producing the output. Yes, IPO, input process output cycle. You would have heard this word already when you were learning about computer. IPO, input process output cycle. It will be receiving the input and it will be processing it and it will be producing the output. You just imagine, you don't want to go for computer. Let me ask one question. You just imagine, I'm asking a question. What is your name? That is the input. What you'll be doing through your ears, you'll be hearing my question. What is your name? See, just imagine, if I'm asking this question to you, what is your name? Through your ears, my question will be entering and it will be reaching to your brain. It will be processing inside your brain, like what is the answer for that question, and it will be fetching from your brain and it will be given to the output device, that is our mouth. So it will be responding like my name is something. So here we need not go for computer. In our normal human being process will have IPO cycle: input, process and output. So we'll be giving input through our ears. Our input is what is your name, and it will be processing inside our brain and it will be producing the output through mouth. So this is also one of the example of IPO cycle. The same thing we'll have in our computer. We'll be giving input with the help of some devices like keyboard, mouse, and it will be processing like our brain, that is CPU, which is present inside that case. Everyone will be seeing a big black color case which will be kept down of the table, is called CPU, central processing unit. That is not a CPU, which is actually, that is a case. Inside that case only we'll have a CPU, that will be learning later. Okay, and it will be processing and it will be producing output through an output device, that is our mouth, like monitor. And then see, process input to set of instruction and gives desired output. See, it is versatile, lot of different tasks it will be performing. Example, it will be storing data, and it will be, what are the purpose of using computer? Everyone knows. I hope everyone is very familiar with the computer. Everyone is using computer in day to day life, so I need not say answer for this question. Everyone knows. Where are the places we are using computer? What is the use of computer? Yeah, where are the places we are using computer? Is just like, you can say, railways, airlines, booking tickets, banking. Everywhere, without computer we cannot do anything. So everywhere we are using computer, even in schools, colleges, everywhere we are using. Is, what is the purpose of using computer? To reduce our burden, like we'll be reducing our work and will be making our work very easier and will be getting accurate result by using computer. I hope you would have understood what is the definition of computer and what is the purpose of using computer. What is IPO cycle? Input, process, output cycle. What does IPO stands for? Input, process, output. So whenever they are going for learning about computer, IPO cycle only the first primary thing. Just you can write few examples like how to make a lemon juice, how to make a tea. See, if I need to prepare a tea, what is the input needed, how it will be processing, what is the output, even each and every process will have IPO. Okay, next thing is, what is data, what is information? I hope you'll be getting small confused. Data and information both are same only. Why ma'am is asking What is data and what is information? You want to understand one important thing, that is data is a raw fact. Data is a raw fact. Just imagine, we'll take just one student name like Priya. Priya 10, Priya 11. If I am giving that, that will be considered as data. Priya 11th, if I am giving that data alone, that is raw fact. If I am giving this alone, it will be called as data. Will not have any meaning, will have just some raw data, raw fact, that is called data. Information means will be processing the data and will be getting a proper meaning, proper sentence. Priya is studying in 11th standard. This is called information. You want to understand the difference between data and information. Data is a raw fact or some figure which will not have any meaningful information. Meaningful, what is that? Meaningful form. Just data will be there. Just now I said example, Priya 11th alone will be there. By seeing that, you will not get a proper meaningful form. If I need to get that proper meaningful form, you want to process this data to get a perfect meaning and structured information. Information is processed data. Okay, you will be getting a data and you'll be processing it and you'll be getting a meaningful form. That is called information. Raw material or raw fact is just will have data separately. Priya 11th, it is a data. Priya 11th is a data, it's not a information. Information is processed data, will be called as information. Data is a raw fact. Information is a processed data which will be in the form of meaningful form. That's all. I hope you would have understood. Priya 11th is data. Priya studying in 11th standard is an information. Next topic is, what are the functional components of computer? Okay, if I need to make our computer working, I need to know what are the components present inside a computer. As we have seen, computer is an electronic device. Yes, yeah, computer is an electronic device which is a combination of hardware and software. Computer is a combination of hardware and software. What is that hardware? What is that software? You would have asked this question to me. Hardware is a parts of a computer which can be feel, which can be touch. Okay, all the physical components. Okay, you just take our human body. What are the physical components present in our human body? You can say ears, nose, eyes, hand. All those things will be called as physical components. What are these components? Similarly, we will have in computer also, right? What are the physical components? Yes, everyone will say, what are the physical components? Keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, scanner. All those things will be called as physical components. So these physical components will be called as hardware. All the physical components which is present in our computer will be called as hardware. Either it may be our motherboard or any devices like monitor, keyboard, mouse, even our RAM, ROM. All those things will be called as, sorry, not ROM, RAM. All those things will be called as, what is that? Yeah, it is called as hardware. Physical components or peripheral devices will be called as hardware. What do you mean by software? Yeah, it is a set of instruction or a program. Set of instruction or a program. See, if I need to make my computer work, I need to give some instruction to the computer, right? So if I need to give any task to the computer, we must use IPO cycle. Just now we have discussed. So we need to give certain input and that input will be processed and it will be producing the output. This is our instruction, right? This is called software. Already in our brain we have that software. If I'm hearing this question, you should process it and it should be produced. So we have software inside our brain. Similarly, we'll be having software in our computer to process our information. Actually, software is set of instruction or programs. What do you mean by software? Set of instruction or program will be giving instruction to the computer what to do. Okay, the next thing is, you just look at this picture, functional components of computer. See, it is input unit will be giving input, and soon after giving the input it will be going to the CPU. It will be processing. You just imagine input unit is our ears, and it will be entering through our ears and it will be reaching to our CPU. CPU is our brain, and then our brain will be processing. Processing in the sense, inside the CPU. What does CPU stands for? Central Processing Unit. Inside the CPU, we have three main components. One is Arithmetic Logic Unit, ALU. Another one is CU, Control Unit, and then Register. Okay, let me explain all those things. Before that, you just make a note of it. Input unit, it will be used to give input to the CPU, and CPU will be receiving input from the input unit, and it will be processing with the help of ALU, register, and CU, and it will be getting help from the memory, that is our permanent memory or temporary memory, and it will be processing, and finally processed output will be given to output unit. This is the functional components of our computer. Let me explain the CPU process later. Just make a note of it. Input unit will be giving to the CPU. CPU will have three important components inside that, that is ALU, Arithmetic Logic Unit, Control Unit, and Register. After that, it will be processing it with the help of that, and it will be producing output with the help of output unit. Just understand. And then for performing this process will be depending upon our memory. See, as I said already, the first thing is input unit. That input unit will have input devices. What are the devices? Like keyboard, mouse, scanner, mic, all those things will be called as input devices. With these devices will be giving input, and this input will be converted into binary language. Then only our computer can understand. What language you people will be understanding? If I'm talking in some Kannada or Malayalam, Telugu, like that, if I'm speaking, you will not understand, right? So you will be understanding only English. Similarly, our computer can understand only machine language, that is binary language. So whatever instruction I am giving, that I can give only in the form of English. That English will be converted into binary, and it will be reaching to our CPU. Input unit is used to give input to the CPU with the help of input devices. Next, central processing unit, that is only CPU. CPU will be called as brain of the computer, as we have discussed already. Similar to our human brain, in our computer, CPU only will be called as brain of our computer. And then, as I said already, CPU will be located inside our case like a small chip. It is called as microprocessor. CPU is located like a small chip. It will be called as microprocessor, and then it will be fetching the instruction from the memory, and it will be converting, which can be understood by the CPU, and it will be processing it with the help of our memory, and it will be producing the output. CPU will be called as brain of the computer, just now we have discussed. And once again. Yeah. Therefore, as I said already, CPU executes our information and it will be producing the result. And with the help of output devices, it will be displaying. As I said, there are three main components of CPU. One is arithmetic logic unit, another one is control unit, and another one is register. Actually, what is the use of this arithmetic logic unit? Whenever we are giving any information related to mathematical relation, mathematical calculation or logical decision, it will be directly going to arithmetic. If soon after it is entering into CPU, the data will be analyzed. What type of data is that? If the data is related to any mathematical calculation or logical analysis, directly it will be going to arithmetical logical unit. Like mathematical calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or any other mathematical related things, it will be directly going to ALU. Or some comparison of data, some logical related things also. Logical means mainly it is comparison of two items. It will be going to arithmetic logic unit. After that, it will be actually next unit which is present inside our CPU is control unit, which will be control all the flow, whatever it is happening inside the CPU. It will be controlled by using our control unit. Even our what is operation, whatever operation it is happening with the help of ALU, or it is happening with the help of input unit, everything will be controlled by unit, that is temporary memory inside a CPU. Whatever process we are doing with our computer inside our CPU, our register only will be supporting for all data storing and retrieving. You just imagine, if I am doing addition of two numbers, directly from input unit it will be going to CPU. Inside CPU, our control unit will analyze the data. That data is related to either like arithmetic logic unit or some other thing. So it will be analyzing, and if it is any mathematical calculation related thing, it will be going to arithmetic logic unit. Inside that arithmetic logic unit, it will be doing only manipulation. Where the data will be stored? It will be stored temporarily inside a register until our data is getting processed and it is giving to the output unit. The data will be temporarily stored in register until our process is getting over. That is only our register. It's a temporary memory which will be present inside our CPU. See, next unit is memory. Memory can be classified into two types. One is internal memory, another one is external memory, or it can be classified into primary memory and then secondary memory. Primary memory can be classified into two types. One is RAM and ROM. It is called internal memory. And then secondary memory, it's a permanent storage or hard disk, and then pen drive. All those things will be coming under secondary memory. If you are coming to primary, that is internal memory, the data will be stored in many storage location of same size. Actually, RAM, I said, RAM stands for random access memory, ROM stands for read only memory. Actually, if I am opening any Word document and if I am typing something, until I am saving that Word document, the data will be stored temporarily inside our RAM. Until I am saving the Word document, if I am typing 100 lines or 1000 lines, before saving, the data will be stored only in RAM. It's a temporary memory. If I save that file, it will be going to the hard disk, that is our secondary memory. That is the use of our temporary internal memory. and then our secondary memory is used to store the data permanently. The final these memory concepts and all you'll be learning in depth in further chapters. The final unit which is attached with our CPU is output unit, which will be receiving the output from the CPU and it will be producing to the output device, and user will be receiving that output. Here also similar to input unit, in case of input unit it will be converting from, in between that input unit it will be happening like it will be converting from normal English language to binary language, and it will be producing to CPU. Similarly, when it is coming to output unit, that binary code will be converted into English language and it will be reaching to the output unit. That's all. These are the functional components of CPU. Just understand input unit, CPU, and then memory, after that output unit. These are the functional components. Thank you. We'll continue in the next class.